All right, hey people. Today is February 22nd, 2022. My name is Chris Lucas, and I just thought I would do a quick video just talking about a few things. Normally, I don't do much on YouTube because I'm always banned. I've been banned over 50 times. Just kind of doing a little video to throw on my channel so you just know a little bit about me and what I think. But I want to cover some points real quick and just kind of get right to it. On here, I want to show you how everyone's brain's kind of broke. Almost everybody's brain is broke. Now, up on my screen, I have Donald Trump, and he's talking about a vaccine. Now, you know, the thing is, this is February 29th of 2020, and he's talking about a vaccine. Now, he didn't even announce a lockdown until I think it was March 13th. So this is like, 2 weeks later. And also the CDC didn't even declare coronavirus a pandemic until March 11th. Okay. Now, up until this time, it's not like as you can see, like I'm way down in this video, and this video is called Donald Trump's Coronavirus Timeline, How the President's Message Has Changed. But the thing is, when you're watching this whole video, early on in January, he's talking about the coronavirus. Now, I want to contrast that with what the Democrats say. Before I play this Donald Trump clip, I have a clip of what the Democrats were saying in January and March. And like most of this stuff, because as you can see up on the screen, this says February 2nd, right? But they were saying this all the way up until the first week of March. And they were saying, come on out. Coronavirus is nothing.
The risk to New Yorkers for coronavirus is low, and our city preparedness is high.
This should not stop you from going about your life, should not stop you from going to Chinatown and going out to eat. I'm going to do that today myself.
Come to Chinatown. Here we are. We're, again, careful, safe, and come join us.
There is no concern at this time for coronavirus in our region.
The Department of Sanitation is ready for Mardi Gras 2020.
The facts are reassuring.
We want New Yorkers to go about their daily lives.
But there's really no need to panic and to avoid activities that we always do as New Yorkers. We are a hardy people.
Americans do not need to panic. What I would suggest, however, is that Americans take this as a wake-up call for seasonal flu.
There's very little threat here. This disease, even if you were to get it, basically acts like a common cold or flu.
So we're telling New Yorkers, go about your lives, take the subway, go out, enjoy life, and certainly not to miss the parade next Sunday. I'm going to be there.
If you had to, would you close down the borders?
No.
We need to be honest about the American people, with the American people, about the fact that we can't keep people coming here from China.
And transmission is not that easy. I think there's been a misperception that coronavirus hangs in the air waiting to catch you. No, it takes direct person-to-person contact.
We also know that if it were likely to be transmitted casually, we would be seeing a lot more cases.
Right, because this is New York, and you're in elevators and trains with everybody all the time.
You can hear them say, come out to Mardi Gras. Well, when was Mardi Gras? March the 1st. And see, the whole time Trump is working on a vaccine. Trump is talking about COVID. See, the Democrats like to say that Trump didn't take it seriously. And no, Democrats, you want to project that. See, actually, it's all your Democrat leaders were the ones that were like, oh, it's okay. And I agree with them. I actually agree with everything they're saying, everything Bernie's saying, everything everybody else is saying. I agree. You guys are the one who saw that $600 stimulus check and sold out. You know what? What I want for proof is show me one post or anything or videos you guys were making or anything where you were like, I'm so scared of Corona. You weren't. You didn't get scared until Trump gave you a $600 check and you sold out. That's what it was. And then you got scared of it. Then you started talking about it. But you didn't care. And Trump had been having press conferences the whole time leading up to that. And he's talking about it. He's talking about it. And the Democrats are talking about it. And the Democrats are the ones downplaying it. But see, I think Donald Trump, they couldn't have locked us down. Like, I believe they couldn't have locked us down with Hillary. They had to have Donald Trump. That's why you had all this fake hatred. I think all that hatred you saw in the media that the left was throwing at him and Rhino Republicans, I think it was all fake. They had to have someone that looks like you hated him. Looks like, oh, they hate him. He must be a good guy. And then when he locks you down and does all this, it's not registering in your brain like it didn't do for a lot of you people. A lot of you guys keep going to these anti-lockdown rallies and anti-vax rallies and no mandates. And you're like, Trump. And it's like, no, Trump locked you down. Trump gave you the vaccine. In fact, I just want to play a clip leading up to 2019. Everyone was like, Trump, they're taking away religious exemptions. Do something. I don't want my kids to get vaccinated. And this is in 2019, 2018. Now, early in April of 2019, what does Trump say?
They have to get the shot. The vaccinations are so important. This is really going around now. They have to get their shot.
What about religious exemptions, Trump? What about religious exemptions? No, they have to get their shots. But measles isn't that bad. Corona's way worse than measles. And some people are like, no, well, Trump wouldn't have mandated it. What's in most people's heads? You done wrecked the whole world over coronavirus, wrecked people's lives. But you think, even though coronavirus is so much more serious, Trump wouldn't mandate it. He's going to mandate it. In fact, he basically came up with this experimental vaccine for you, right? I mean, it's brand new technology that no one's ever known about. No one knows what it's going to do, And got that out in warp speed. And who signed warp speed? Donald Trump did. Donald Trump also renewed emergency. I just want to show you that Trump administration renews COVID public health emergency. See, he did it on, blow it up here, October 2nd of 2020. So you can see the 2020 up here. So see, in the last 90 days, right? So we see right here, it lasts 90 days. So every 90 days he has to renew it. He renewed it in July also of 2020. Guess what? All he had to do was not renew it. This whole thing goes away. Warp speed and everything goes away. But because he renewed it, hey, guess what? You get to get more mandates because he renewed it. Okay. Now, here's something else. Oh, I see Democrats saying, oh, Donald Trump says it's a hoax, like on this Twitter, this tweet. See, Ivanka Trump goes, fact check. This Moderna NIH vaccine is literally the one that real Donald Trump partnered with Moderna to create on January 13th, 2020. And she says, I repeat, January 13th, 2020. Just be happy. This is great news for America and the world. And that's Ivanka Trump tweeting that out, right? And you see all these like Democrats responding to her, saying, wait a minute. So before the first case was reported in the U.S., before the China ban, he knew it was going to be bad enough to require a vaccine. And they were also saying, oh, he said it was a hoax. See, right here, he's here another Democrat. He ran around and calling it a hoax. He never called it a hoax. That's all wrong. No, the Democrats were downplaying it. This guy, Chris Lee's crazy. The Democrats were downplaying it. I just showed you that. Democrats were downplaying it. So it wasn't Donald Trump downplaying it. It was the Democrats downplaying it. And Ivanka Trump's right. He was creating a vaccine. Wait, see, this should make all of you think. He was creating this vaccine that's wrecking your life way back on January 13th of 2020. She just said it. She admitted it. That's his own daughter. I mean, I just want you people to think about that and wrap your mind around it, that maybe Donald Trump's not your friend when he's nominating deep state like Kavanaugh, who believes in global warming, who sabotaged the Vince Foster investigation. Yeah, go look up the Vince Foster and Bill Clinton and look into all that stuff and see what you think, you know, and see if, and plus, you know, there's a lot of, you know, Trump nominated nothing but Catholics. And I will bring up the Catholic part of this because this is a big deal because I am a Republican. I'm also, you know, it's like we come from a long line of abolitionists. Guess what? The abolitionists were, a lot of them were killed, and well, I won't say a lot of them, but there were some that were killed, like Elijah Lovejoy. You should know him. That should be the biggest name in history. But why don't you know his name? He was the one that really sparked the abolitionist movement when he died. But you probably don't hear him because had you been taught about him, you would find out that he was killed by a Catholic mob, and then you would have to ask, well, why would a Catholic mob kill him? Then you'd have to get into all that. Then you'd find out that the Catholic Church is the one that was helping to keep slavery going. And then you'll find out that this Catholic Church sided with the South. You know, here's an article I got up on my screen. Church Militant. So they're a Catholic organization, but they got this article called the Catholic Confederacy. And it says Jefferson Davis, president of the Confederacy, was an aspiring Catholic and was sympathetic to the Catholic cause. He was known to wear Catholic sacramentals, a St. Benedict medal, a miraculous medal, a French scapular, as well as a brown scapular. Despite the United States as a whole not being friendly to Catholicism, North and South, about 20 Confederate generals in his cabinet were also known to be practicing Catholics, and every Catholic bishop in the South supported the Confederacy. And see, also the ones in the North that were having protests against Lincoln and stomping black orphans to death, that was led by like Archbishop Hughes of New York, Catholic Archbishop. So, and then it's like, you know, when some people go, oh, Lincoln's a tyrant, he took away habeas corpus. Oh, yeah. Okay, those like crazy little Southist writers, what they are, they got a lot of Catholic propaganda in their brain, because what they don't understand is that, you know, Maryland, Baltimore, Maryland was considered the Catholic capital of America. Maryland, it's a Catholic state pretty much. So it's like, he takes away habeas corpus. They try to assassinate him there when he first got elected. You know, just sit on that. I'm not gonna make this video too long. Just kind of, you know, think about that a little bit. And then it's like, oh well, you know, Donald Trump was trying to. Oh, here, everyone play this.
On Monday, I'll be meeting with the.
Look at that. February 29th, 2020. He goes, on Monday, I'll be meeting with the
largest pharmaceutical companies in the world. Actually, they'll be coming to the White House, and we're talking about a vaccine and developing very quickly, and they've already started working on it, developing very rapidly a vaccine for the virus, to combat the virus, and we're having very good initial feedback. And I'd like to just ask, and
so, you know, just showing you. Oh, and here's one. Remember this? This is April 30th, 2020. Donald Trump tweets out, despite reports to the contrary, Sweden is paying heavily for its decision not to lock down. As of today, 2,462 people have died there, a much higher number than the neighboring countries of Norway, Finland, or Denmark. The United States made the correct decision, which means he made the correct decision because he's the one. And I'm not going to go back and play all this, but in that same video about the timeline that I was showing you, the coronavirus timeline, I'll show you the name of it real quick. But in this same video, he's also talking about how he's the one who is locking you down. And it's going to be just 15 days. So he lied about that too. Okay. And Let's see here. I'm not going to make this too long. There's just a couple of things. Okay. Now, we all know that I hope most people don't think this is just about power. This whole COVID thing is not about a power grab. It's not merely about money. It's not merely about control. It's about something more than that. This is definitely a spiritual thing. And me, like other Republicans that first started this party who were abolitionists, we all preached against the Vatican and its role in destroying this country. Okay. And here's Bishop Quigley, James Quigley. In 1903, he said, within 20 years, this country is going to rule the world. Kings and emperors will soon pass away, and the democracy of the United States will take their place. When the United States rules the world, the Catholic Church will rule the world. Nothing can stand against the church. I'd like to see the politician who will try to rule against the church in Chicago. His reign would be short indeed. Okay, and that once again, that's Roman Catholic Archbishop James E. Quigley. He said this on May 5th, 1903, recorded in the Chicago Daily Tribune. Okay. And I kind of wanted to go into one more thing if I can find it. Oh, I'll just show this up on the screen. I'll let this kind of be it. I'm just going to keep this video real quick. Papal vaccine campaigns offered punishments and rewards 200 years ago. So think about what they're doing today and look at all of your top people. Fauci's a Roman Catholic. The Pope's pushing it. You don't hear them say, "Oh, so-and-so church leader says it's okay." They don't care about any other's opinion. They go, "The Pope said it's okay, so you're going to do it. The whole world's going to do it. The Pope said it's okay. No other moral rejections at all allowed. Your religion doesn't matter. It's only the Catholic religion." Just like back in the Dark Ages, it was only their opinion that mattered, and it's repeating. And you people won't wake up. And because you won't call this out, and remember, the Vatican is a sovereign state. It was made a sovereign state back in 1929. So when, someone like Joe Biden is referring to the Pope as a Holy Father, guess what? He's also calling the leader of a foreign state Holy Father. And then it's like, well, are they going to be loyal to Holy Father or America? Who would you be loyal to? Someone you're calling Holy Father or something else first? I mean, just think about that. Most people are loyal to their religion before they're loyal to anything else. And now you have this head of a foreign, this head of a foreign religion is also the head of a foreign country. And why do these Catholics want open borders? Is it because Mexico is all the states south of America are 90% Catholic and more? See, when you start to really think about this and understand this and get back to true history and understand the history of America, you'll start to see that this foreign entity has a lot to do with everything going on. And obviously, I don't care about, making, it'd be nice to make money. I just don't, because everyone hates the truth pretty much. And that's why America's going to keep going down the way it's going. So the whole world's going to go down the way it's going. And if everyone in America would at least call this out for what it really is, and because it's like, look, how come you're banned, I'm banned, and I said it's a church show that I used to have, and it was called Seventh-day Berean Church of Truth. And it gets deleted off of YouTube. Why is that? Oh, I'm a Protestant, but my Protestant opinion cannot go against the Pope. See, this isn't just something as simple as you think it's like a medical dictatorship or whatever going on. It's not just that. What's really going on is I can't speak against the Pope. Okay, Pope, you think that's your view, but I think this you shouldn't get this because of this view, but my view gets cut off. And it doesn't matter if I'm like, oh, it's immoral because they used fetal cells, aborted fetal cells, and the creation of it. Not in the vaccine, but to try to test it out on and things like that. At least that's what I hear and read. But let me show you something real quick. Catholic Church. 24 million. Okay, right here we go. Now there's several articles, but look, shocking. Vatican invests at least 24 million in the abortion industry. To me, this isn't shocking. This is the Antichrist right here. And so it doesn't shock me. Rhode Island is the most Catholic state in America. And guess what you can do there? You can have abortions up to birth. 54% of Rhode Island at least is Catholic, and you can have abortions up to birth. In New York, it's run almost nothing but Roman Catholics, as far as I know. Guess what you can do there? You can have abortions up to birth, right? And one last thing I'll leave you with is now there's this book called Rome's Responsibility for the Assassination of Abraham Lincoln, written by Thomas Harris. And this book was written in 1897. Get it from this website. I don't know if I'll have time to throw these addresses into my video description today. But as you can see, this is a brigadier general who oversaw the trial of the assassination of the co-conspirators behind the assassination of Abraham Lincoln. And he said that there was enough evidence that you could convict the Pope of being behind the assassination. So I just kind of wanted to bring that to people's attention. And also, who got rid of the Bible from public schools? Did you know it's the Catholic Church? Oh, and that's in the book Pope or President by DeLisser, pages 246 to 248. And you can find that for free on the internet too. But I'll bring up one more for you, and then I'll let this go. Okay, in 1959, General Herbert C. Holdridge wrote a letter to Eisenhower. And in this letter to President Eisenhower, he wrote about the Jesuits. And there we go. Try to make this a little bit bigger. But I'll just skip down in here. The Constitution of the United States provides for democratic government of, by, and for the people. The Constitution of the Jesuits, imposed upon all Roman Catholics by command of the Pope, provides for a military dictatorship under the command of a commanding general, the Black Pope of Roman Catholicism, to whom even the White Pope must yield authority, backed by the claimed 30 million Roman Catholics in the United States. I want to get down to this one part though. Okay, so number 3, shock troops of the Vatican, a commanding general, a general staff, which includes U.S. citizens, 10 Jesuitical geographical provinces, territorial commands similar to our army areas, each with its own commander. 350 recruits per year from the U.S. citizens for the commandos. One of these recent ones being the son of John Foster Dulles, Secretary of State of the United States, who promotes foreign policy of the Jesuits as the foreign policy of the United States. So let's read this one more time. Secretary of the Secretary of State of the United States, who promotes the foreign policy of the Jesuits as the foreign policy of the United States. So a lot of people don't like our foreign policy. It's the foreign policy of the Jesuits. 6,000 commandos operating throughout the world with concentration on U.S. as the major prize of war. Unnumbered thousands of shock troops, not part of the Jesuits, but allied with them, composed of Knights of Columbus, Paulist Fathers, etc., already possessing arms to be used against our citizens. 40 million male troops of the line operating internationally, comprising of the League of the Sacred Heart. 6 million within the United States, larger than the total armed strength of the U.S., and remember, this is all back in 1959, so it's probably a lot bigger now. 1 million members of the Women's Auxiliary Corps, Soldierites of Our Lady operating within the United States, thousands of priests, nuns, lay laymen, permeating our society to promote philosophies hostile to our state. Like social justice, like when LeBron James and the whole NBA flew over to meet the Pope to talk about social justice, and that was like a title of a headline. 120,000 citizen students in the Roman Catholic colleges under the influence of the Jesuits, with other thousands not directly under the Jesuits being impregnated with such hostile philosophies. See, one thing about the Catholics is they can send their kids to parochial schools, and then all the public school kids, they can dumb that down. They can work with politicians to make the public schools worse. They can take out real history, so you never know the real history. They can make you dumber, make their kids smarter in their Catholic schools, and make all the other kids dumber, and then they can rule over them. I mean, right? I'm just saying that could happen, and it looks like to me it did happen. Now I'm going to kind of end it here, I just want to be a little brief. You'll hear some people talk about, but what about the Protocols of Zion? The Catholic Church wrote that too, because some people will tell you Jews around the world. And if you want to, here's this little part from the Protocols of Zion. We must always bear in mind that the Catholic Church, now this is supposed to be the Jews talking, right? Because they supposedly wrote this, but this is how I can tell the Catholic Church wrote this. We must always bear in mind the Catholic Church is the only institution which has stood and which will, as long as it remains in existence, stand in our way. The Catholic Church, with her methodical work and her edifying and moral teachings, will always keep her children in such a state of mind as to make them too self-respecting to yield to our domination and to bow before our future King of Israel. This is why we have been striving to discover the best way of shaking the Catholic Church to her very foundations. We have blackened the Catholic Church with the most ignominious calumnies. We have stained her history and disgraced her noblest activities. We have imputed to her wrongs of her enemies, and thus brought these latter to stand more closely by our side. We have turned her clergy into objects of hatred and ridicule. We have subjected them to contempt of the crowd. We have caused the practice of the Catholic religion to be considered out of date and a mere waste of time. But the thing is, the SS, the Nazi SS, was modeled after the Jesuits. One of the things Goebbels said to do was accuse the other side of doing what you yourself are doing. And this book was written with that same kind of ideology. We're going to blame the Jews, take the pressure off of the Pope looking like the Antichrist. Because that this church that sells babies, like I'm not going to play this video, but Catholic Church stolen baby scandal. That was between 1930 and 1970, where they took babies from parents and gave them to Catholic family. Gave them to Catholic families, would steal them. And we're talking at least probably about 300,000 babies they stole. Okay. Has a Pope apologized for it? And even if he did, doesn't matter. But yeah, but this guy, when he says, "Oh, well, this vaccine's moral," look what they're doing. They steal babies from people. They back Hitler. And we're going to be like, "Oh yeah, but they said it's moral." It's like, man, it's like, I really don't want to get off too much and make this video too long. But I think I'll share one more thing with you. Trump removes vaccine safety office. Oh, I could find it. I used to be able to find it. Well, I know he shut down the vaccine safety office. But anyway, I can't find it. But anyway, that's it. I just thought I'd say that much.